to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Yeah. Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 207. We are just getting everything organized here. Matt is working at a feverish pace because we have some incredible guests on the show. Next to me, Logan Fulmer. He does only big, massive deals, averages between $100,000 and $200,000 a deal. And the sales goat himself, Eric Klein, in the house, all here in Phoenix. This is going to be an exciting show.
That's right.
All right.
Let's
yeah.
roll.
Let everybody know where you guys live and do business and a little bit about your business. I'm sure a lot of these guys already know who you are. So,
yeah, Logan Fulmer. You can catch me on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, spelled just like it sounds. And I'm down in San Antonio, Texas.
Awesome.
Eric Klein, Raleigh, North Carolina, North Crackalacka. And I am a virtual wholesaler. Just started dabbling in real estate, though, where I'm actually buying, fixing, flipping, and all that. So we are graduating. But 2.5 years, $7.5 million in assignment fees.
Awesome.
All 100% over the phone.
What'd you say? How many deals last year?
180, 185. I like giving real numbers.
And
so
184 virtual.
Yeah.
You went on one appointment and almost screwed it up.
Almost messed it up. And you want me to give you the story?
Yeah.
So listen, when there is, I use certain lines, right? And I had this older woman on the phone. She had lost her husband. She had I think it was 4 acres with 4 mobile homes on it in Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even know
How long into your wholesale career was this?
This was last year. Like,
what do you mean? How long? He started like 5
I
minutes
was
ago,
like,
bro.
was the first month? Or the
Yeah.
8th month?
So like I used, and this lady was not signing a contract. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to come out to your property. One of my acquisition guys had her on the phone. He had only been with me 2 weeks too. This was over a 6-figure deal, mind you. And I got the lady on the phone and I was like, you know what? I'm going to come out to your property and we can talk. She goes, I just want to let you know, I'm not signing a contract with you. All right, I'll be there in 15 minutes.
Yeah, tell that to yourself.
So what I usually do over the phone is if someone's lost their husband and I know they're lonely, I'll be like, you know, if your husband was here sitting on in the chair next to you, what do you think he would say? And then if I'd wrap my arm around you and just give you a nice hug right now, because that's probably what you need. So that's what I would say over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm face to face with this little short older lady. She's country. And I'm standing there and I look at her and I was like, if your husband was here, what do you think he would say? And
did you go in for the hug?
Dude, I went in for the hug and she backed up against the wall like this.
Oh, that was the star with the eye and the tattoo.
She was like, I don't need no hug from you. Thank God my wife was there. I brought my wife with and she swooped in and saved the deal for us. Like, so my techniques in person, again, don't work, or over the phone, don't work in person.
Because of the tattoos?
Dude, I freaked this lady out.
What's your favorite tattoo?
Probably I would have to say my kids and my wife's name and my clean date. And
what's your favorite tattoo on him? What's Sheila's? Huh? Oh, okay. It's on there. Nice.
Yeah, Shyla. I got a dope Michael Jordan tattoo on my thigh. Like
Prove
it's
it.
about as I'll prove it. Oh, okay.
Maybe later, guys. Let us know if you want him to prove his Michael Jordan tattoo in the chat section. Guys, welcome. Listen, the audience is saying yes. The Pace is in Orlando, and Jamil is getting settled into his place in Canada with his daughter Charisma. So we are taking over, and this is going to be a really, really, really fun show. This is an opportunity, guys, to ask these two superstars whatever questions you have. We're going to be going through a lot of question and answer over the next 80 minutes or so. So make sure that you put it into the chat, and we'll put you up here, and we'll answer your questions. All right? Now, Logan, you did how many deals last year for how much?
I actually don't know. I got to look. We're between 100 and 200. I track those a lot.
Deals?
Yeah, transactions.
And how do you find them?
Most of these are coming from some level of distress, multiple owners, which you can find in your appraisal district office, the roster, or delinquent taxes. That's my favorite.
Where do you get your delinquent tax list from?
Anybody out there can actually get it for a couple $100 if you call the county that you want to work in.
Yeah.
You can have them send you the direct list, or there are a lot of services that for, $150, $200 for the year will provide it to you.
Well, when I get it from the county, it's like in hieroglyphics.
Oh.
I mean, it is like, it's got codes. Yeah. It's not addresses. It's got some sort of different like key that you have to use to decode it. Do you run into that?
Most of them like that are like that in Texas. Yeah. You've got to send it. We found somebody on Fiverr that for a fee will dump it into an Excel.
Yeah. Got it. And then, so you're just cleaning those up, but how do you get a hold of them?
So at that point we start to filter. So I want someone who has a lot on taxes, but it's not really more than 10, maybe 20% of the assessed value of the property.
Right.
Because I want to have it low enough purchase price so I can make an offer and it'd be reasonable amount of money, but still have a lot of equity left. So, but I don't want someone who just missed their taxes this last year because they're still under the belief they're going to fix it.
Right.
And they're going to go through that for a year or two. I want them to owe 10, 15 grand is a good number where the delusion kind of goes away.
Yeah.
And they're like, I thought I was going to come up with a 3 or 4 last year. This year, 15, ain't happening. So I want them to be around that range. So I'll filter by amount owed. And then once you start getting into the hundreds of thousands of owed, it complicates the deal a bit.
Sure.
So I cut it off about 200 grand owed in debt and about 10, 15 grand on the bottom end.
Yeah. But how are you having a conversation with the owner?
Oh, the calls.
Yeah.
So when you're going to do someone like what Eric does, he's a sales guy. He knows what he's doing. He's got a program. He's got a plan. These are almost intentionally designed to stumble through the process. Hey, Jenny, my name is Logan Fulmer. I've been working on this research project. I think the owner's property may be deceased. I'm not sure. And I was kind of thinking you might be the cousin of Josh, who is the son. Am I barking up the wrong tree here?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to have the confidence. Depending on your industry, you need to have the confidence. You need to be authority. Here, I'm like an idiot who's good at research. I'm trying to figure this out, and I let them help me.
Research project.
Yeah, it's a research
That's
project.
what you say.
I got guys that are titled research
Well,
assistants
you explain to
in my
everybody,
office.
like, this is, guys, I'm telling you, this is going to be an unbelievable show
Yeah, we just
today.
went deep with some weird stuff.
No. Well, listen, because you find ways to unravel title issues.
That's right, Brent.
And that's why you do these,
Massive
million to multi-million dollar deals.
That's right.
Right.
So we'll treat the small one the same, and the small one be a couple $100,000. It's a very common size. And the big one could be several million. But we're going to look for a property that's got multiple owners. You've got tax liens or judgment liens against the person that might even outvalue the property. You've got missing owners. You have breaks in the title chain. Maybe when you bought a property, Eric, 20 years ago, and then the guy that gave you the deed, you didn't buy it through title. Maybe it's some rural land, and you put it in your file cabinet. You didn't go record it. And then when you sold it, this happens to rural land all the time. You sold it to a dude down the street and gave him a deed. And then yada, yada, yada. 25 years later, he wants to sell it. That deed that you lost or left, that's created a break in the title chain, but you've since died. What the heck do you do? Well, that's what we look for.
That's what
And if I can fix that problem.
Yeah, but
I can get a
you
really
want to
good
fix
deal.
that problem on big deals, on big piece of land and commercial and multifamily and these. You're not doing that on, you probably are doing it on like single family, smaller houses, but
Right.
the big deals are these.
That's where you're gonna make the most amount of money. I'll give you a good example of a property I did last year. Is in Austin, Texas. It's about a half of an acre in a really in an area that's developing a lot. Pretty much all new houses, but this was the one that was just sitting there. It was terrible. Had 2 crummy houses and basically just a vacant lot with that. My all in on that one was about $250,000, and there was 80 owed in taxes. But the kicker is, when we were all said and done, the guy that brought it to me said, I think we got 20 or 30 owners. I'm like, all right, no sweat.
20 or 30 owners?
Owners.
Oh, wow.
I get done with the research. There's 65 owners.
Mm-hmm.
But we talked to about 10 or 15 on the phone right off the bat. And these people are like, we've been trying to solve this forever. Our aunt who's been dealing with this the best, she's mean. We hate her. She hates us. And I say, would you give me your interest for $500? Can you let me take your seat at the table? And I'll just pay you to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm detaching the value of the property from the money I'm giving them. I'll buy your seat at the table to take over your problems.
Love it.
They said, I'll take $500. So I immediately turned to the guys in the office, said, you go to the bank, get $100,000, but you can't get it at one shot nowadays. It's about 20 at a time. So we went to 4 of our banks, ordered a bunch of money. We collected about 80 to 100 grand in that day or the next day. And I had one guy on the phone calling all these owners and quarterbacking. And then another 2 guys were in Austin meeting people with mobile notaries and deeds closing, like at restaurants.
Of those 85 or whatever.
65
65. Jesus.
So over the course of about 30 days, we collected all but 3 owners. But we collected probably half of them in the first week. It was literally like when you watch these shows where the FBI's got a field office and they're like quarterbacking like with TV screens and shit. It felt like that. It was pretty wild.
What'd you make on it?
Yeah. I was all in for 250, with 80 or 90 grand in taxes. I paid another 150 to owners in increments. And then I sold it for $1.25 million. So I netted about $1 million.
$1 million. Yeah. Come on. Let's go here.
I'll ring that one.
All right. Well, we got some things to do. All right. Here. Ahmad said, this is great. This is for you here. How do you learn the art of negotiating and to be confident on the phone and in person when it comes to agent outreach?
Agent outreach?
Yeah.
Never. We do 100% off market.
Well,
deals.
how would you be confident?
So it's the same thing.
It's
so
the
he's
same
asking confident in person.
Yeah. Or on the phone. How do you be confident on the phone?
So one, repetition. You got to get the reps in.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you first walk into a house or you first pick the phone up, like that phone fear is a real fear.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, in my opinion, how are you going to get over it? One, when you're not in the game, meaning you're not at the house or you're not at the home, you're going to practice. You're going to have a script. You're going to rehearse it over and over and over. I remember when I was first coming up in the game, I kid you not, my first phone call center I was ever in, I was at home at night pacing in the halfway house that I was living in, rehearsing a script.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the mirror rehearsing a script because I was that guy that had that phone fear.
Mm-hmm.
I was the guy that when they picked the phone up, I would freeze. I didn't know what to say. So it was like, you just have to work your tail off and you got to work your tail off and put the reps in.
Eric's trying not to curse, which is hilarious, which is really hilarious. He doesn't know this show very well, but yeah, you can keep your 3rd grade language. It's good. Trina, come on. Tell them how to be confident. How many agents do you reach out to?
When I was beginning wholesaling, I was calling like 50 to 70 agents a day.
A day?
But
Hand dialing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Off my cell phone until I did some deals and I could get a system. But I think Eric hit it right on. You just got to have that repetition and you're just going to get more confident as you keep having those conversations. So at the beginning, it is going to be a little difficult, but the more you keep doing it and when you go out in person, you know how to answer all the questions they ask you, like whose title, how fast can you close, how many deals do you do? After you've got that repetition in, it's going to be just you knowing the answers. You're going to have that confidence in those conversations.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I'll just to elaborate. What was her name? My apologies. Dylan. And to elaborate on what Dylan just said, you got to hear objections for the first time. What you don't know, you don't know. So what you got to do is learn. If someone hits you with an objection and you don't know it, make sure you write the thing down. You go home, you practice. That way, when you come back, you don't get stuck on that one objection. You will hear more objections. And again, it's repetition is king.
Love it. We have a celebration here for Jeffrey Cody. Got my first deal, 23K bam.
Let's go.
And one more to close tomorrow. Thank you. Listen, this is the first deal, when you cross that bridge from faith to fact, and you know that you can do this business, is one of the biggest moments in your career. Congratulations, Jeffrey. And he's not stopping. He's got another one closing tomorrow. So he didn't want to waste any time. He was like, 23K is fine. That's no big deal. Let me close another one.
Yeah. What Jeffrey needs to do is now dump some of that back into marketing.
What would you suggest?
Great question. This is all live?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. So
we're live streaming. This is called live streaming.
Got it. I love it. So what I would do is test the waters on, because 23K and you got another one tomorrow. So I'm assuming you're going to be sitting on some cash.
Yeah, where'd those come from?
Can
you say?
Yeah, where did he get his deals?
Yeah, like
Jeffrey, let us know.
Now.
Let us know how you found those deals. That'd be really interesting. And where you live.
Yeah, and so maybe double down on where you found that one, or what's worked really well for us for 2.5 years is absentee owner data. We kept our home value at 330,000 and under, or 350 and under.
What's the median home price of your area?
Well, in Raleigh,
where you're pulling that list.
So where we pull all of our lists, probably the average would be anywhere from probably at 300 to 400.
Okay, so in case he's in a different market, pick your median home price there or below.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Non-owner occupied.
We would do absentee owner. We would keep equity 20 to 100%, and we would exclude LLC and trustee owned properties.
So how big of a list is that typically?
So my wife pulls all the data.
Mm-hmm.
I would, so we're in 6 states.
Mm-hmm.
It does depend on the market. I'd have to ask Shyla. She's sitting in the audience.
10,000, 20,000. Shyla,
how much absentee owner data if we were to go to Raleigh, what would be?
I'd say about
10 to 20,000.
Awesome.
Yep.
So I like at other times in our business career when we weren't only doing dirty deals, when we were pulling data and marketing with telephones and whatnot. That's my favorite, is the absentee outside of the tax list, because they're not in that house. They're willing to let it go much easier. Having someone move out of their house is a whole can of worms you don't want to open. They can commit. Don't you have to go over there again?
100%. And if you've talked to enough of these people, 99% of the tenants are paying under market rent, and they're on a month-to-month lease.
Easy.
And the reason I like the absentee owner, exclude LLC and trustee, you're dealing with a inexperienced landlord that has a rental property in their name.
Right.
So.
And that's all. You're not getting all fancy. You're not pulling all the tax defaults.
We
and you're
ain't
not
doing the
all
dirty deals.
How many callers do you have?
So the way we run our operation, we have 5 acquisition managers in our office, and we do 3 cold callers per closer. So they're going to get anywhere from 6 to 9 leads a day.
6 to 9 leads.
Yep.
And a lead is just somebody that would consider an offer.
That's my house. I'm willing to sell it. We were doing 6 months or sooner, but I think we're at 12 months or sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you've got 5 acquisition managers. They're getting 6 to 9 leads every single day.
Yep. How
tough is it to get back on the phone with these leads?
So we just implemented something within the last 6-7 months, which has changed our conversion cycle.
Okay.
From the day we get the lead till the day we close the contract.
Yeah.
Not closing table.
Right.
So what we have done, anyone out there that has, any amount of leads, it doesn't matter. If you got leads coming into your system, we put leads now through what we call the 7 days of hell.
Okay.
Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Are you like bam, bam, bam,
no.
bam?
So the day we get the lead, for 7 days straight, it gets a text message, and 7 days straight, we beat the crap out of them over the phone.
You just call them?
We call them. Our acquisition managers are boom, boom, boom. With the amount of leads that the way our leads get delivered to our system is we always start at the fresh, we penetrate down. The next day we start at the fresh, penetrate down.
Right.
That's how my CRM is built.
Mhm.
And the 7 days of hell, when we implemented this, took our lead capture to contract. Dude, we are getting so many more deals on the first day we get it to 7 days. Within that first 7 days,
Right.
we are closing, I'd say 50% more of our transactions.
That's such a small change to your business
Dude.
that affects the output exponentially.
It was a game changer, the 7 days of hell. So we
Wow.
went the 7
So
days.
you're talking
of
about
hell.
how many times a day are you calling them?
It's just the text message and the call.
Right.
We're only touching them twice in a day.
But it's every single day.
But
one
we
after the
would
other.
Text
prior
call,
to
text call,
that-
text call.
Yeah, prior to that, we would only call a lead one time and on to the next.
Oh, got it.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't getting the text message. So we would call, it would get a text the first day, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
the
yeah.
seventh day, we added text all through the first 7 days.
Yeah.
It literally, it made a massive difference. In
We
our
go
business.
3 days of triple tap, right? Call,
Yeah.
no answer, call, no answer, call, no answer, leave voicemail, text.
Wow, that's a heck
Call
I
no
bet you have
answer,
a heck
call
of a
no
pickup
answer.
rate,
Oh
though.
yeah. Well, here's the thing, and the reason I bring it up is because a lot of people on here, they have virtual assistants. They have
Yep.
people that are making their calls, and the leads come in, and that handoff. Sometimes you just can't get a hold of the property owner, and it could be a great lead, but if you can't get them back on the phone, you're kind of like stuck. And then all of a sudden it's almost like things are falling on you every single day because you've got more leads coming in from your callers. So you're like, how do I make sure that I take care of the quality leads?
Yep.
So that and get rid of all the people that are not never going to sell. They're just curious. They're just kind of tire kicking, and really focus on the people that want to do business, right?
Yep.
And so we got to get a hold of them as soon as possible, or it just piles up. It just piles up, and there's too many or past due tasks.
Yeah.
By the way, did we sell that deal today? Did you do the showing? How'd it go? They love it.
She was like, I'm looking for turnkey properties because I do Airbnb somewhere. There's 7 cats and 14 dogs.
Yeah.
Like, and there was a video. So yeah, Jared said there was a video and pictures. I missed that.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So So it's interesting when you look at the style of your business relative to mine. Mine requires a level of skill and technical thing that it takes a lot more time to learn. And you're able to systematically reproduce something with a low level of skill using a script, an exact set of data in a market that's probably, I bet if you pick that same 300,000 price point in good MSAs, I bet you have a similar response to the market you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
So you can template what you're doing and get a person up to speed probably much faster than the higher technical stuff on mine.
Yeah.
You have 5 acquisition managers?
Yeah, we have 5 closers. We just brought 2 on. This is their second week.
Commission only?
No. We do a base salary of $26,000.
Okay.
And then we do unfunded only, just to make it clear. If the money don't hit the bank, there ain't a deal. So every month is a new month. Their first 50, we give them 8% plus their salary. As soon as they go over 50, we give them 9% plus their salary. The 9% is retro to the beginning of the month. As soon as they go, as soon as they hit 150,000, we give them 10% retro to the beginning of the month plus their salary.
And it resets every month.
Resets every month.
Why do you do that?
Because that's
keep them hungry every single month.
Yeah, that's just how
Like,
that's
back
just
to the
how we
beginning,
do
you
it.
gotta prove
There's got to
it
be a
again.
reason you reset it every month.
Well, we have once they hit $1 million in funded, we give them a $10,000 bonus.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's good.
Okay. Million in funded means $1 million to the company?
$1 million gross funded
income,
to the company.
Not like $1 million in like the value of properties.
Yep. $1 million in assignment fees.
Right.
Yep.
They get a $10,000 bonus.
You get a $10,000 bonus.
Got it.
Yeah.
How hard is it to keep people?
So we have a solid.
Because I've had a lot of acquisition managers over the years.
Oh,
I've started a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
you know?
I've had in 2.5 years, I have probably cycled through 20, maybe even more than that. That may be a low number. And here's the reason I believe that happened. I would pride myself on being able to take somebody off the streets that's made $30,000 and help them make their first 100.
Right.
I would pride myself on that.
Yeah.
I can take anybody as long as they're teachable and coachable and they got a work ethic. I'll make them $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's really hard to get somebody from 30 to 100 because as soon as they go from 30 to 60, they've doubled their income. That's a win to them.
Mm-hmm.
They've never experienced $60,000 a year.
It's the financial thermostat.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I would get so frustrated with these people that
Took their foot off the gas at 60.
took the foot off the gas at 60 and to get them from 60 now to 100. I more than like a lot of times I was getting rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
So we just recently changed where we don't want to hire anybody unless they've made a minimum of $75,000 over the telephone, which that's all we're hiring right now.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone in our office outside of one guy has made at or right under or above six figures.
Where would you say most of these folks are coming from their prior industries? ADP and car sales.
I can tell you where the two that I had, one guy started off Cutco knives. He's done solar. He's done, he did solar. He was selling magazine subscriptions or something like that over the phone. My right guy, the guy of the five, the guy that's leading right now, Kevin, he's 21 or 22, moved from, the Bronx or Brooklyn, New York. And his first 12 months, he'll probably do about a $150, $60, $70 with us.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you have them scripted out.
They all follow the 5 steps.
Will you please explain why we should be using a script and what the point is? Because it's so unauthentic. I just want to go
It
there.
sounds authentic from
Yeah.
your side, but when you hear it from the other side, it doesn't. It sounds good.
When it's a good script.
Yeah.
When it's a good script, it sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about the boilerplate script out there, that's 2 pages or a page and a half,
Yeah.
like that, it's going to sound scripted. But the point of a script, so I have a 12-page script in my office.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't make it 30 pages. I really could.
Sure.
I could make it 30 and I could
believe
still
it.
add to it.
Yeah.
But when I got into this space, people were like, dude, you're crazy. This can't be scripted out. And I was like, no, this can be scripted.
That's what I thought. And when I read your script, I was like, this is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, no, this can be scripted out.
yeah.
But just like, what's your favorite movie?
Oh man, Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Cool. Kevin Costner, right? No.
No.
Who was it?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
There
Kevin
you go.
Costner.
There you go.
That was Dancing with Wolves. So Tom Hanks, before they ever went click action,
of course.
he had a script.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. He memorized it so
Everybody
well.
has a script. Doctors have a script.
Yes.
Pilots have a script.
all-
And I'm not talking about like the way they speak. I'm talking about a process.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
If our job is talking to people,
Yes.
we need to have a process.
Yes.
Have a plan.
The point of having a script is I meet him for the first time and I'm in, he's a waiter at a restaurant. Me and my wife sit down, my son's sitting with us, and man, he comes and treats us like gold. Talking to my son, he's talking to me and my wife, and I'm like, dude, how much, Logan, how much you making here?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, dude, I only made like 60 grand last year.
Yeah.
Dude, you talk well, you're treating my family amazing. Dude, you want to try and make 100 grand over at my company? So I go and recruit him, bring him over.
Yep.
He knows nothing about wholesaling, real estate,
No,
all that.
no.
I'm like, hey, you take your personality and put it into this script that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you're going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But all I need you to do is follow that script. And when the time comes where you hear something that's not on that script,
Mm-hmm.
get off of it,
Mm-hmm.
talk about it, but make sure you get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of a script. And I have a script that it works. It is tried and true. I've used it. It's made millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And all I need, I feel I could take just about anybody, throw them into my script,
Mhm.
and their personality is the only thing that's going to be different in the phone call.
Yeah. Could you imagine like if the Kansas City Chiefs never practiced and they didn't have plays?
A playbook. Just
We
go
wouldn't
out
have been
there and
watching it
win.
recently.
Just
Yeah.
run with this ball or catch this ball or whatever else. This is what people are trying to do when they're out, when they're getting started. They're like, well, I'll just kind of, try to figure it out as I go. It's already figured out, guys. Just follow a proven method.
Yeah.
That's it. Just follow a proven method and understand that, like, you're going to run into, and we talked about it on our podcast today, when you're telling third-party stories, which is really the difference between amateurs and pros in these conversations that you're having with property owners. It's the same conversations. It's the same stories. It's the same situations. There's going to be tired landlords. There's going to be people that are going through inheriting a property or probate. There's going to be people that have vacant properties,
medical issues,
that have tax defaults. There's going to have medical issues. They're moving across country. Guys, just write them down. Write them down and understand how to communicate effectively with those people.
There's about half a dozen of them. Maybe you have 10 different situations, but it really falls in the kind of that same vein.
Yeah.
Right.
And with these conversations, our side of the conversation should be like their side of the conversation. The homeowner might be a little different from call to call. The name may be different. The address may be different and their reason may be different, but our side of the conversation should be the same on every call. That's when you get consistent results.
This is, and that's what I see becomes an issue with VAs making calls and with acquisition managers that have a lot of leads. Is there's like a 6, and this is been studied by psychologists, at about 6 or 9 months of having the same conversations, we start already knowing what the people are going to say, and we stop doing discovery. And when you stop doing discovery, you're dead. That's why you see the slumps with salespeople and especially your VAs. Your VAs will go into the slump faster because they're going like 40 hours a week. And they're just doing the same thing over and over, that they're just, oh, you want to sell? Okay. Do you want to, and it's just almost like automatic. They need to sit in a little bit and open up the conversation and really just try to pull out and figure out, discover what's going on with this person. Those are the people that make way more than the others, even with acquisition managers, even with your sales team. Yeah, it's just they get in and they're like, oh, I already know what this person wants. No, you don't.
Becomes so repetitive.
No, you don't. You don't know what the person wants until you pull it out of them. What do you call it? Fact finding?
Fact finding.
That's what you call it.
Yeah.
So that takes a really motivated or a really unique person to be able to pound on the phones that long consistently.
Yeah.
I find in our office, probably one of the toughest roles is management of the salespeople.
Of course.
And you and I chatted very briefly earlier on that. That is the toughest part. You can be great at skills. You can be able to build the process. But unless you can really manage those folks and keep them fresh, keep them excited. And sometimes for us, we found that the bottom tier is a revolving door of new people coming in and the good ones kind of come up and the bottom ones just keep cycling. And I don't love that, but it is the hardest person to work as a salesperson because it is a tough job.
Yeah. I believe the hardest part of building one of these companies right here, the model itself, whether it's wholesaling or in whatever industry, is the sales team over the phone. Because
this is why there's so many cash buyers. They don't want to do this.
That's a great point.
This is what people will go, okay, I'm starting out. I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to a lot of people and I'm going to go on appointments and I'm going to learn all the different communication styles and I'm going to be really versatile. As soon as I get enough money to do flips, I'm out. I am out. And listen, I understand that. I can understand it because it's really, really, really difficult. I just love this business so much. And I understand that the risk, because I've done it all and I've lost it all a couple times. And it's because when you get into real estate, there is risk. The markets are going to shift. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to build a company that's just really good at communicating and finding deals. That's it. That's going to be my business. I'm not going to be doing elaborate flips. I'm not going to go into development or anything like this. And listen, guys, people call it like, well, freshman year is wholesaling, sophomore year is flipping, junior year is single family rentals.
Business that is very risk averse. And if you want to move a little bit quickly, you have the ability to do it because you're not in a 24-month development project. You're not in some crazy thing you're having to learn the whole way. You have the ability to steer quickly. The market's not been really forgiving to a lot of people in the last 18 months. And it sounds like you guys are both doing well. So.
I fell in love with repetitious boredom.
A lot of people get sick of it. They want to go see the new shiny object.
Been doing it for almost 14 years now, man.
I just, it's something, there's something to be said about just finding the deals, just building a company that finds the deals. If you want to do other things and you want to be more creative and do that, awesome.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to coach people on how to find opportunities. I want to find the opportunities myself, and I want to celebrate with all my friends and family that work with me. That's it.
I like
and then,
that.
and then
I
I'm
like
gonna,
that.
Then I'm going to take the cash and I'm going to buy assets cash. I'm going to buy
That'll give you some income.
whatever it is. I'll buy Bitcoin. I'll buy rental properties. I'll buy a piece of land. I'll put it into the S&P 500. I don't care.
This is,
you know what I
just
mean?
brought up
Like,
an interesting point.
it's this whole thing where like, oh, if you're in real estate, you gotta be greenhouses to a red hotel. And that's the only people that you should listen to. How about the people that make a ridiculous amount and put them into assets for long-term wealth?
You made an interesting point. You said, I just want to take this money and buy assets with cash.
Mm-hmm.
And is that because of the ups and downs?
Of course.
The experience you said, I don't want that risk anymore.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I mean, the only time that I've screwed things up is leverage.
Really?
The only times have been leverage. I mean, I'm telling. I mean, it's Warren Buffett, or maybe it's his
ladies, liquor, and leverage.
That's it. Ladies, liquor, and leverage. The 3 L's will destroy any good business person.
That's right.
And it should be lovers. For let's level the playing field. There's a ton of dudes that'll screw up your money, ladies. Trust me. But yeah, I mean it is, and I think about that stuff all the time. And I like sleeping at night. I like spending time with the family.
Yep.
And I like knowing that if I buy a piece of real estate cash,
It's yours.
What's going to go wrong?
Yep.
What's going to go wrong? I mean, when you lose all your houses and you have to crawl back to friends and sleep on couches and essentially not have something your own, and you could buy real estate and be smart with it because you're making a tremendous amount wholesaling. I mean, it's just a wonderful feeling. And I think everybody should own at least one piece of real estate free and clear.
Yeah. I think they should own more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, at least one. And that's just my opinion. So there you go. What do you guys like investing in?
Well, I like problems with properties. I like to put all my money there, but I'll tell you, after I've gotten through that, because the returns are big, you still have to show up. You still have to train people. You still have to participate. I'm there every day. Now I love it. But what I found is I like metal buildings. I did a lot of rent houses, and man, they're great, dude. But when you get 6 or 8 rent houses for $1 million, this money you're making, man, it's a lot. You got to go find 6 or 7 different houses. You got to fix up 6 or 7 different houses. A building like this, this is a concrete building, but this didn't have the walls in it. This would qualify. It's a shell, concrete shell or a metal shell. You can rent it to someone who will finish out for an office. You can rent it out to someone that's going to make it their landscaping company.
Yep.
A storage. I mean, you don't do anything to it. The tenant does it all, and you can do a lot of money in one shot, and it's very simple.
Yeah.
You inspect something like that, a metal building with a concrete floor,
that's great.
red iron structure, and a metal ceiling, metal roof. Dude, I walked there and inspected it in 15 minutes. Look at the electrical panel. It's not leaking. Foundation's not cracked. What's the price? Yep, I'll take it. Simple.
Let's roll.
That's right.
What are you investing in?
Right now we have, what do we have? I think we have like 3 single family residential homes, maybe 4 rental properties. We have right now, I think 3 flips going on, but we do flips with our cash.
Safer.
Yeah. We don't borrow money to do our flips. I've been told it's crazy to do it that way. Like right now we have probably close to probably over $1 million of our own money out there.
Right.
But
you can withstand problems. You can go over budget on one. It doesn't sell for as much. And you might leave 10 grand on the table because you got to walk away from a little loss, but it doesn't matter.
But
no one's stopping you.
We have been super blessed that because we get to see a ton of deals.
Yeah.
At any given time, we have 60 to 100 deals in our pipeline.
Oh, so you're picking the best ones.
And anytime, 60 to 100 contracts. And we have any house that we have flipped, and we have flipped a good number of them, we've made no less than 100 grand on it.
Right.
So like we pick deals where we literally can't F them up.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
I like that. I like
You
that.
Wow. You are being real prude tonight. 60 to 100 deals at all times pending?
At all times. I could pull my CRM up right now, and I bet you we got 60-something deals.
From 15 callers in Pakistan, right?
Yep.
15 callers, sending to your 5 acquisitions. You're still doing some acquisitions? Yes, no?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
You've trained
I
them
will
up?
TO though. I'll take over a call for my closers
Right.
all the time. I love it. I will never put a phone down.
Yeah, sure. And they're locking all these up. And how do you dispose 60 to 100 properties that are direct to seller?
Yep. Great question. So we have, I wish I had my CRM right now. I would tell you, but we have 3 full-time acquisitions.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, disposition.
Dispo. Okay.
We have 3 full-time dispos, but in our dispo bucket, like we probably have 25 assigned deals right now, right?
Yep.
That are EMD in, assignment contract signed, where we always hover between 350 and 550 of what we have in assigned. Like that's where that bucket usually stays.
Income.
Of deals that waiting to close.
Yeah.
Yep. Income, yes.
Yeah.
And then in our dispo bucket, we will usually have around like 30, right, of deals that our dispo team has, and we try to cap them at only having 10 deals a dispo rep.
Yeah.
To effectively work those deals. Because what we found out in 2000 and the beginning of 2023, the tail end of 2022, we had 2 dispo people and we were cranking like 50 to 60 deals a month. And we were canceling a lot of deals. And we were looking at the cancellation reason, and it was no buyers found. Like we have certain reasons, no cash buyers. And we went back and audited. We picked 50 of them that we canceled. And we stopped at 40 because they were all sold at what we wanted or more.
Right.
And we were giving the reason I'm telling this story is we gave our dispo team members too many deals to work.
Couldn't touch it.
They're salespeople, right? So they're going to go for the lowest hanging fruit, the path of least resistance. And they're going to look, this is a banger deal. I'm going to work on that one. This is a banger deal. I'm going to work on that one. So we would have at any given time, 30-ish deals in our dispo bucket. And then we'll have between 15 to 30 deals in our just contracted bucket. So we're still waiting on pictures. We're waiting on our photographer to go out there, all that stuff. So never those 60 to 100 deals aren't ever always in the dispo team. That's how we manage it.
And they close at different times.
Yeah. And
right?
we got an amazing, when I say our CRM helps streamline everything for us. My partner, Tony, has an amazing dispo process that is tried and true. We stick to it.
So this must have been you must have had some explosive growth in 2023 then. Because I mean, you did 100 and what did you say? 80 deals? No,
my first.
What did you say? 150 deals?
108. It was either 180 or 108. How many did we do last year?
185 is what you said.
Bam,
so what is that? What is that a month? 15 deals?
I don't know. I'm
right.
Who can do that?
But I mean, if you got like 30 to 60
right.
pending at all time, is it just that they're spaced out? Because there's some questions like, he did 180 deals, but he's got 60 pending. What does he only work 3 months? Right. So I'm just trying to
no, those were closed and funded.
Right. 185.
Yeah. For $3,220 some thousand.
Right.
Closed and funded.
Right. I think the conversation is, are you canceling like 70% of your locked up deals?
No,
you know what I mean?
No, we've never canceled over 50%.
Got it.
Our first year in business, which was last year was our second year in business. 2022 was so our first year we operated, I think, at like a 35%, 40% cancellation rate.
Yeah.
We lock up a ton of deals.
Love it. I'm just reading these.
I mean, like last month to start the year, our goal this year is 5 million in assignments.
Yep.
We need to do, I think it's 416,000 or 460,000 a month in order to hit that goal in assigned deals. We want to raise our average assignment fee from 22 to 25 grand. Our average assignment fee all of last year was 22,000 and change. And we want to, but last month, starting the year, we ended at 390 some thousand My wife's sitting right there. She could probably give us an exact number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We did 390,000 last month.
All over the phone.
100% over the phone.
Following your script.
Following.
What
There
is
you
it, Shyla? 395. Nice.
To the T, dog.
There you go. Awesome. What's the average?
Boom.
26,000.
Dude, that's a high average.
All over the
national
phone.
Average is about 18,000.
Yeah, well, we ain't average.
And you're in how many markets?
We're in North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Ohio, and Indiana. But we're pulling out of Indiana and Ohio and Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And we're
Florida's popping.
I know, but it's just not a good market for us. Like people would say, oh, North Carolina isn't good for us. We crush North Carolina. So we're just pulling out because we get deals there, but we spend too much time there for the amount of deals we get. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So we're gonna be in North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and then we're adding South Carolina.
Got it.
Yeah.
You love the non-disclosure states.
Non-disclosure, man. We only use Zillow and the other software is PropStream. We literally use Zillow and PropStream.
Investor Lift?
We do, but love Investor Lift. We'll never not have it.
Right.
We'll never not have it. It pays for itself every single year. We move a good amount of deals on it, but it's not the end all be all.
Right.
I would if last month, I bet you 75% of our contracts got moved on the flat fee MLS with the AIF, attorney in fact.
Talk to me about that.
That is the biggest buyers platform in America.
The MLS.
That's right.
And you're doing flat
That's
fee
why I go
MLS.
that. It's the biggest
flat
market
fee MLS.
And
It's our number one strategy.
And you're
right
able to list it on there because of what? What
now. Our
document?
attorney in fact.
Attorney in fact.
And when you go into a new market, it's
Yeah.
going to be your number one way to move a deal.
So you get the purchase agreement and an attorney in fact signed?
Yep. The attorney in fact, AIF, is we used to have it in our marketing clause.
Right.
But what we've done to where it's absolute,
Yeah.
we have it as a separate paper. They sign off on that. They
The same time as the purchase agreement?
It's literally in the same DocuSign.
because you
Right.
separate them, a lot of title companies' attorneys will look at it differently when it's kind of strung in
Yep.
that purchase agreement. Like,
Yep.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's real simple. A lot of people ask, well, what do you say about that? And our rebuttal to that is, listen, Mrs. Jones, we do between 40 to 60 properties a month because we do.
Yeah.
And for us, it's all about speed and convenience for us on our end, just like we're telling you. So we pre-market all of our properties.
Yeah.
We need to get the area interested, the realtors interested, and we have a very robust Rolodex of people that may want the property. So we need to get it out there so they can see it.
Yeah.
So you've seen those pre-marketing coming soon signs. You've seen those, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, whatever.
Perfect. That's exactly how we
Right.
pitch it.
So it's a lot of educating agents though on what an assignment is.
Yes.
And that it's cash only,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was
And when
always
it's a small assignment, it's easy. When it's a big assignment, sometimes it gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's just a lot of the agents that we talk to just don't know what it is. And they're just like,
Is
you
that
know,
illegal?
Well, they don't know. Okay, well, wait, I'm going to send you in a purchase agreement, right?
Yep.
And are you doing a lot of double close or are you
No.
just doing assignment? You go, no. We'll just assign you this
Yeah.
deal and you review this.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Tony I don't dispo deals.
Right.
I don't dispo deals. Tony's done. He trains and coaches all of our dispo team, and dude, he does a phenomenal job at
Yeah,
it.
but don't the agents want the seller property disclosure statement and septic tank inspections and you know what I mean? And the lead-based paint disclosure
Yeah.
and the agency agreement. I mean, I remember as an agent, I would have to put together a 25-page packet
Mhm.
of all the things that were required for my broker to turn in for me to be able to get a commission on it. And so if you just have a 2-page agreement and assignment and you give it to them, are these agents requiring more?
Shala, yes.
That's got to be their area then.
Yeah, then you got to do all that at the end. They need all that. Yeah, but
You have to put all the disclosures and everything.
yeah. When they're going to put an offer in and all that, they have to. Yes.
Got it. Yeah. Just put it on the MLS, the biggest cash buyer database there is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. 1 month will be investor lift heavy. 1 month will be flat fee MLS.
Right.
But the when everything shifted and all of your hedge fund babies went away and everyone got scared, well, that's when we started leveraging the flat fee MLS.
Yeah.
And it was a game changer for us to stay in the game. A lot of people, just stayed afloat last year. We were profitable last year.
Yeah.
And we did really well. And that was a pivotal moment or game changer for us, is being able to do that.
Yeah.
So one of our business lines is wholesaling commercial real estate. And that's the exact same
Let's
thing
talk
we do,
about wholesaling
but we're
commercial.
going to Crexy and LoopNet.
Right.
With a property the same way they are instead of flat rate. But
how do you wholesale commercial properties?
You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a realtor to get access to LoopNet and Crexy.
No. How do you do it though? How do you find commercial properties to wholesale?
It's literally the exact same way. You call folks, you get a contract on it, you sell that contract. The difference is higher price, and your sales cycle is a little bit slower and a little more complex because you have diligence involved.
Less buyers.
You have far less buyers, are far more sophisticated. But at the end of the day, what I found is there's usually attorneys involved and there's brokers involved, and they don't care, man. They want to get paid.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. You probably experienced that with the realtors on the other end, right?
Yeah.
They're just trying to get paid.
Every commercial deal that I've done, the commercial agents are awesome. They're a whole different level.
Residential realtors.
They answer their phone instantly.
They'll respond.
You know why? Because when they're doing a house, 3% of $200,000 is $6,000.
Right.
When they're doing a $2 million warehouse, dude, they're making like $60,000. They're answering the phone, dude.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, they've been trained. I mean, if you're a commercial agent, the first 5 years, you're making cold calls to every commercial property and trying to build relationships.
You don't make it past those first 5 years unless you're really good.
Right.
So think about this for a minute. If a property sells for $2 million or $1.5 million, the difference is your commission is $45,000 or $60,000.
Right.
If you can't, like a residential realtor, if you're not going to get the $200,000, you're only going to get $150 for your client. You're like bombing the deal. Fuck, it's not going to happen. What are you going to do? Are you going to take 45 or 60,000? You want that deal to close? You're taking the 45,000. You're going to get it closed. And the realtor or the broker on the other side is not going to beat you up for that extra money. They want the deal to close. It's way different in that regard.
So do you target commercial properties specifically?
So in that particular business line, we've actually gotten help from Eric on training our folks with, we had to modify it a little bit, but we used a modified rendition of his sales script on commercial real estate.
Right.
So it's when I say it's similar, dude,
like the five processes.
We're putting
five
people
steps
on hold to go talk to our underwriters, dude.
Sure.
When you were going through that script, I'm
Love
like,
it.
dude, I know this. I'm not kidding you. Yeah. So it's the exact same process. The most
five steps to Eric Klein's sales process. You ready?
Dude, I get
Number
nothing
one.
by telling you how good his shit is, but it is.
Yeah. Number one, intro. Shocking. Number two, fact find. Nobody does it. Do it. Number three is the pitch. Number four is the offer. And number five is to close. It is a process, guys. I'm telling you. I don't care if you're buying real estate or if you're selling whatever. I mean, you've
Getting
been
people out of timeshares.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. You've done all sorts of different kind of sales. The process is the same.
Dude, listen to this.
What you say is different.
I went to, and this is not wholesale related. It has to do with a house.
Okay.
I went out and did a podcast with a guy in the roofing industry. And after his podcast, he was like, "Hey man, can I talk to you about sales?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" And he goes, for the month of January, he had 261 verified appointments where a field closer was supposed to be at a house at 3:30. Right? Well, they missed 100 of them.
Oh my God.
100.
Those are expensive leads, dude.
100 of them. And I go, "What are you doing with those leads?" And he was like, "Dude, we're not doing anything with them. I'm missing out." And I was like, 100 verified appointments.
Get a strip, get on the phone.
So a whiteboard was right there. I was like, "Dude, let me break down my 5 steps to you real quick. I think you can do this over the phone." He goes, "Dude, no one's cracked the code of doing this over the phone." And I'm like, it's all going to change today. So I break down my 5 steps. And at the very end, the 2 holds, I came up with a roof of RAN, a roof approval number. So I broke it down, and I was like, the last appointment that you were supposed to have, how long ago was it? He goes, 30 minutes ago. I said, let's call the homeowner up. We call him up, and I said, hey, Mr. Homeowner, how was Johnny Boy when he was out at your house 30 minutes ago? And he goes, he never showed up. While I have you on the phone, we brought him through a 5-step sales process, put him on 2 holds at the very end, 1 call close, using the same exact process. So you can throw anything into the process. It can, so it does work. It's tried and true.
Well, then listen, the fact finding, the discovery is everything.
Yes.
They will tell you how they want to do business.
Yes.
They will.
Yep.
When you're willing to do business their way, you're kind of doing what they say because they've told you what they need. If it works for me.
Well, and people go, well, sales guys. Oh, sales is service.
Yep.
It's interchangeable.
Yeah.
It's just learning your script. It's learning how to better serve this person. If you can't, they'll let you know.
Yep.
They'll let you can't just, there's no magic to this.
Nope.
It's a process. And if people truly want to sell their property, guys, it is our responsibility to get really, really, really good at this.
Yeah.
You brought up a good point, and it made me think of something. If they're going to do business with you and you earn it, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And if it's not a deal, it's not going to get done. Don't beat yourself up over it. It wasn't a deal is going to work.
Right.
Get to the next one so you can find the person that wants to do business the way you do business. That's it.
We say it all the time. We're deal finders, not deal creators. That's it.
Okay,
And we tell it. We tell it to all the Rhino Tribe members. We tell it to all the people that I've ever brought on as acquisition managers. Like, you're not going to force this, right? You're not going to force it. It's our job to be able to have them open up and communicate with us and get past their walls, their force fields, like we were talking before. That's our job. That's where the skills are. But after that, it's listening.
Yep. Asking the right questions and listening. Shut up and listening. Like we were talking earlier today, it's when people ask questions, they'll ask a question where there's a question mark, which means shut the fuck up.
There it is.
There it is. It means shut up.
Yeah.
But like so many other, so why are you looking to sell your house today, Logan? Is it because you're sick of your tenant? Ask a question and just shut up. Like if you ask the right questions and you stop and you allow the other person to talk, to think, talk, there's going to be the awkward silence. It allows you to get the right information to close the deal. But when you ask a question, you give, and then you give them suggestions, you're missing the whole point of question-based selling.
And just ask a question and then be quiet. Don't ask 13 questions in a row
and then
expect them to give you an answer that you're really looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see that a lot. I see that if I do call reviews with my virtual assistants or with students, it's like, how long have you been thinking about selling and what do you want for the house? It's like, slow it down. Like, and tell me about the condition. How's the roof? How's the AC? How's the flooring? What kind of countertops do you have? What does the pool look like?
That's where a script comes in.
Right.
When
you load up on a bunch of questions and they don't get a chance to answer one of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And ask them about them. Like build some, and the third party stories. That's what it's all about.
Sometimes
if you share with somebody, somebody's going to share with you.
Sometimes we forget this is a people business and we're trading in real estate, but this is completely a people thing.
100%.
When I'm dealing with these people in the really messy deals that have all the trauma from their family, just these issues, we're dealing with people, man. What happened? What went wrong at the end? So you said something that I completely agree with. A lot of times, a large part of your conversation is non-real estate. And I find that when we're training new folks in an organization on the messy deals, they're like, what is all that shit you were talking about, dude? I didn't learn that much about real estate from watching your call. I'm like, but what you learned is there's another part of this that you figure out really quickly.
It's the 80-20 rule. And a lot of people have it flip-flopped.
Yeah.
They'll do, 20% of the conversations about not the house and 80% is. Well, like you can make an okay living off of selling like that. Like, because that's what 90% of the industry does, really. But if you can truly flip that, where 80% of the conversation is not about the house, you're going to make a ton of money. I'm telling you. Some of the best deals, the most solid deals we actually really didn't even talk about the house.
Mm-hmm.
There's only like the questions that we can ask somebody about a house. That conversation it's really not much more than 10, 15 minutes to get some. When I came into this industry, I sold a lot of things over the telephone before I ever stepped foot in the wholesaling industry. And as far as like services and all that. And when I got into wholesaling, I was like, someone's going to sell their house over a telephone. Out of the years I had in sales, I'm like, this is going to be a tough one to do over a phone. So I was like, man, my rapport's got to be at an all-time high by the time I go to say, are you willing to sign a contract? Because like, would I be willing to, if someone's going to get me to say yes to sell my house over a telephone, I better know a lot about that individual. They better spend time with me. And it's, you know, it's not a 10 or 15 minute phone call.
Yeah.
The thing that it doesn't frustrate me, but they don't get it because some of these people have team members. Some of these people are out there trying to show people how to do this, where they're like, I closed a PPC lead in five minutes. And I'm like, dude, you don't want me getting on that phone or that on the phone with that seller after you've closed them because
they won't remember your name.
They're not going to remember. Like, that's nothing to brag about, especially if there's $15,000, $20,000 on the line. Like, it's just unrealistic to think that you can make 20 grand in 5 minutes where you still have 45 days. One, you're not the only lead she filled out. Two, just because she's under contract with you, her phone does not stop ringing. And if you haven't built that relationship with her in the next 30 to 45 days, there's a really good chance she's going to cheat on you.
Yeah, for sure.
Folks forget we're talking about houses.
Dude.
The most valuable asset that a lot of people own, it's a house.
Yeah.
We're not selling some tennis shoes or a car.
No.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. So I just, you know, I always say, love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. It's these deals like that one guy just said he made $23,000 on a deal. That's life-changing money for somebody if that's their first deal.
Do you know how many people on this planet will go their entire life without a 5-figure check?
Do you have the number?
It's got to be like
a lot.
99.9%.
I thought you had a statistic.
I do. 99.9999%.
It's probably
It's
true.
gotta
though.
be.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll say that with confidence. It's got to be.
Yeah.
So when you get that, it is life-changing.
It is.
But the brain breaker, you will break your brain if you do a 50K plus deal. When 50K gets deposited into your checking account that usually has $15 or $1,500 or $5,000 that you have spent so much time and just saving and trading your time for money and all this other thing. And then you have one phone call and you work one deal and it turns into 50K plus.
Yep.
I think everybody.
Your brain breaks.
Everybody at this table remembers the first time they did a deal.
Oh
like
my
50
gosh.
grand.
I was shaking. My wife was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, I don't know if I could do this again. I don't know what's happening. You know what I mean? She's like, what are you doing? Like, who cares? It's just money. I was like, oh, okay. You know,
we need this stuff.
And I'm all like going through some sort of psychological breakdown.
Yeah.
But it'll break your brain. You do a deal for 50K plus and that goes into your account. That
so
is
in my
a
world,
great
the first
day.
one wasn't a 50, it was a $75,000 deal.
There you go.
But here's what happened. When that happened, my business partner and I, we both went and bought some matching guns. It was a really big day. But we went.
What
to
kind
lunch.
of guns?
They were a 9mm, it had laser, all the shit. The Smith & Wesson was pretty sick. But
nice.
We stopped. And
do you
the
still
next
have
day,
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do with it?
Nothing.
It's like a
Sadly.
trophy?
It goes on when we go bird hunting, which we shouldn't. It goes with me. Yeah.
A pistol?
Yeah. We just
To
take
kill
it.
birds?
No, you might shoot.
You
something
must
else
be the
out there.
greatest shot of all time.
Yeah, right?
No. But what happened is after that happened, we went back to our office the next day. We had lunch and we stopped and talked through it and said, how did we get this deal? What type of lead was it? Where'd this come from? Can we do more of these? And those little events are over time are what defined our business today because we started to realize there's a lot more of this and we can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's deals out.
And what's the biggest deal like closed?
I'm in a deal right now. It's
not that one.
It's Connolly. No, there's another one I didn't tell you about. There's a $28 million deal I'm in right now.
What?
Paid $6.5 million for it.
$6.5
$6.5
million.
for the
You own
land.
it?
Yes, I'm a partner in it.
Okay.
So in my office, we found the deal. We were in wholesale, make $2 million. It was a 99-acre tract of land.
$2 million,
$2
guys.
million.
Be around people doing big things.
So one of my business partners was running that acquisition team, found the deal. We looked at it. We're going to wholesale for $2 million. I thank God the buyer tried to fuck us and tried to trade us down $1 million
Yeah.
the day before they were sending that contract.
Yeah.
And then he said, we're driving from Houston to San Antonio to meet you anyway. We're like, don't waste your time, dude. I was going to make $2 million. Now I'm going to make $1 million. And I'm starting to get angry.
Mm-hmm.
We start doing some quick research and find that this is a developer tract and it's worth a heck of a lot more than we ever imagined. So we went back, talked to the seller and changed some terms and decided to buy it at $6.5 million. There was $1 million worth of entitlement work on it. And the builders will pay $20 million for it. And there's $8 million on the MUD, which is a utility district you create legally and collect the money over time.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, forget it. I don't have that much money in my bank account right now, but I have a portion of that. So I called some of my buddies and said, if you want to put the money in here, I can double your money in about 18 months,
Mhm.
which is, that's either fraud or an incredible deal.
Yeah.
And this is not Bernie Madoff over here, but those are some of the closest people to me. And I started talking more about the deal and they're like, I'll send you the money. Let's do it. So they're limited partners. I'm a general partner, me and two other guys.
Mhm.
We own the deal now. We've got the planning and zoning commission is completed. They've approved it. It goes to city council, gets signed off, and then we start marketing to buyers.
Love it.
For how
dude.
much?
Yeah. $20 million will buy the land. We retain the MUD and collect $8 million over the next several years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest deal closed?
So it's sold
Yes. Money in the account.
$3.5 million. No, it's 3.2. And I doubled my money on that one. Yeah.
God.
But that was
You
that
made
was
3.5
months.
or that was the
No,
total?
3.5. 3.2 was the sale. I paid 1.7. So I netted like 1.5 ish.
Yeah.
That was 9 months worth of work.
1.5 million.
Not bad in a nine.
But
it'll
it'll change your life.
Of course.
Absolutely change your life.
Yes.
That's the understatement of the year.
So
Yeah.
let me go back though. In full transparency here, I have two partners in the deal.
Sure.
So I didn't put $1.5 million on my bank account, but I did put $500,000. So my share was like, again, that'll
great.
change your life incrementally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what do you buy with that? Other deals?
More stuff.
Yeah.
So now when we go to pay for this $6.5 million real estate, I want as big of a share of that as I can because I want this kind of return.
Yeah.
So that money gets plowed into it.
Yeah.
So in a business like this, it's growing. Like I'm not living like major lifestyle. I'm not living in a $5 million house. I don't have 10 cars. Like,
What about jets?
man,
Are you rolling around in jets?
I mean, I've taken them several times
Flying
the last
around?
few years again, or now.
you animal.
But that's like the reason we did that is we're going out to look at an apartment complex,
Right.
and it was 6-hour drive there, 6-hour drive back. We could get there in 45 minutes in a plane,
Yeah.
do the inspection for the whole day, and come home. And
I
can
mean,
have
like
dinner with my
flying to
kids.
Europe in a jet.
Oh no, personal,
You
no,
know what I'm
dude. We're
saying?
flying commercial price.
I'm not
I've
talking
never
about
flown
some
in a
local
private
trip.
jet.
Oh, come
No?
on.
I've never.
Wow,
Gotta
it's
get that-
coming. It's coming.
Yeah, even back when prior to this business, when me and Shyla had our timeshare exit company,
Yeah.
and we were making serious money.
Yeah.
Never once flown private.
For work, when
Yeah,
it's
but
like
it's
get
like-
there, get stuff done, and get back. And I was at home with my family for dinner that night, and we had
Yeah.
4 guys go, and it was a friend's jet, so we only paid hard costs. I think we paid $6,000 for there and back.
Yeah.
It was equivalent of like $1,200 a seat.
No, I get
Dude,
it.
that doesn't
Can't do
matter.
it.
That's
But
local trips. I'm
buying
not
like
talking.
$30,000 vacation flights. That ain't me, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between flying a jet to,
Europe,
yeah,
We're not doing
China
that.
or Europe or
Now you know who's going to do that?
Australia.
When I die and my kids get all this money
Yeah.
and they don't care about reinvesting, they'll be doing that probably.
Yeah.
Lisa
Takes
Bell, don't
what
get
do they
me
say?
either.
It takes generations to build it in 3 years to crash it.
Yeah.
So that's right. So
Literally.
there you go. So, I mean, I believe that. And that's what we spend a lot of time doing with our kids, explaining how you get the money, how you manage the money, and you make it last your lifetime.
Yeah.
And if we've done our job right, they're not going to blow it on drugs and cars.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the inheritance is not the money. It's what they learned about how you work and how you respect each other, husband and wife and family and all that, and how you treat other people and
Yeah.
how you lead other people and how you care about the customers that you work with and the people that you work with. That's the
Yeah.
legacy, if you want to,
Yep.
call it that and be that bold about it. But the money part is, I mean, you hope
You
that
can
your
make
kids
it and lose it. So that's
you
like a
hope your kids
variable
have
here.
the ability to make it
To
because they
go
want to
and do it on
provide
their-
value.
yeah.
You want your kids to be able to go out there and be fulfilled. Like nothing is
So
more
that's what I think
fulfilling
matters
than
more. I wanna
losing
be
everything and dragging yourself out of a hole. We've all done it.
Oh,
Every
God, yeah.
single one of us
Couple
have
times.
dragged ourselves out of a hole, whether that means getting clean and sober, whether that means like sleeping on buddies' couches or
They're all
or
lows.
being on the phones for hours and hours and hours and hours, just building up the skills to be able to actually provide value. That's it. Our income, our earned income is equal to the amount of value we provide.
Yep.
That's it. And then we get to increase our value to the world by buying assets. That's all assets are. It's just increasing the value to the world.
That's a good way to look at it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you hope that your kids, discover that and see that through your example.
Yep.
That's the best part.
That's why my daughter's here with me. She gets to come and see, what does dad do to make money? What does dad do to get fulfilled? And
What
she
do
gets to
you
make her own
splurge on?
decision. Not much, man. I mean, I reinvest in our company. I did buy a cool watch, and we did upgrade our house last
What kind of
year.
cool watch?
It's this one.
Oh,
It's the presidential.
There we go,
Oh.
dog. Don't be afraid to show that
What about
shit.
you?
I've seen your watches.
What do I
never-
invest? I love watches.
Yeah.
How
How many watches do you have?
I think I
He's got it
got
counting his
like
head.
8 of them or something like that.
All Rolex?
All Rolexes, 1 AP.
Okay.
Yep. I
Yep.
drive. I like my dream car was a Rolls Royce, so I got a Rolls Royce.
Yep.
My wife and I just bought a beautiful lake home on Lake Norman,
There you go.
which is amazing. Can't wait to have so many memories there with my family. So
Yeah.
that's what we splurge on. And then I got a son that has a massive shoe problem. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah, he caught the bug early. So
Uh-oh.
yeah. But I'm going to be honest, man. I grew up in a family where I was a middle child. Parents divorced at, I think I was in 6th grade. My mom worked her ass off, dude, to provide for me and my brothers. And I like in the life that I lived, right, from the first time I ever did a mood or mind altering substance, I was 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
From
young.
13 to 28, I lived recklessly. And to be able to what I'm getting at is I was the guy in my family where everyone wrote him off. My mother went through the emotional stages of losing me. She thought I was going to die. She could have put a bet on it. If she was going to say, is he going to live or die? She would have said, my son's going to be dead by a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to provide, it's one of the things that drives me the most, of being able to provide for not only my wife and son and my daughter at college, but man, like flying my family out to wherever we want to go. We were just in Hawaii and I had my mom and dad out there for a 9-day trip, flying my brothers and my brother-in-law out to Park City, Utah to go snowboarding, a trip that's going to be something I will remember forever, man. And they will remember it forever. And to be able to be that person within my family that made such a radical change. I was a guy no one ever wanted to come to for advice. And I got family members that call me today and I'll be like, hey,
That's cool that it
bro,
can change like that.
What do you think about this? Like, do you
Mhm.
think I should do this? And so it's just a big root. I love it.
Mhm.
I absolutely love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like splurging on my family.
Yeah, for sure. Love it. And vacation houses. That's the best. Or second homes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
Where
love
do you
my
guys
cabin.
go? I see on your social media.
I have
all
a
the time. There's
cabin
somewhere that's
2
not-
hours
doesn't-
north of Phoenix.
From here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it mountains?
Uh-huh.
With
That's
snow?
where y'all are going,
Uh-huh.
man. Yeah.
2 hours away. You
Yeah,
get
'cause I
snow?
look at
Arizona's
pictures, I'm like, that
wild,
don't
man.
look like Phoenix,
Really?
man.
Yeah.
The stories that you were posting, is that that's
Cabin.
in Arizona?
Yeah.
I did not know
I
it
drove back
snowed here.
yesterday afternoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you snowboard here?
Yeah.
What is going on? In
It's called
Arizona?
Snowball. I live on Snowball Road. I mean, we took the kid.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, like, you know, a few years ago, I
You were-
had
you
nothing.
didn't- you had a-
you
you
know what I
didn't
mean?
even have a couch.
I had a Tupperware full of everything, which was like my high school yearbooks,
Because they're so
a couple of trophies, some baseball cards, and my clothes. You know what I mean?
I do know what you
in a
mean.
beat up old Lexus that my dad gave me. That was like Kelly Blue Book at like $1,800. You know what I mean? I mean, the hail broke out my back window that I like taped garbage bags around them, like the clear ones, but you know, garbage bags. You know
I
what I
know
mean?
what you mean.
And,
Yes.
and I'm telling you, this thing right here changed everything.
Dude,
This thing right
Get on,
here
start talking to people.
changed everything.
everything.
I saw ugly houses. I went and I found their phone numbers online. I called them up and asked them if they would consider an offer in their house. And my life has changed forever.
Dude, I love hearing it because it's the best. Sales has which all of us, because we're all in sales. Everyone's sitting in the damn rooms in sales, right? Even my son, when he's trying to get a pair of shoes, he's in sales.
Yeah.
Sales trumps everything. It trumps everything, I think.
Every business needs it, one way or the other.
It does. And the phone, when you broke that out, it's like I owe it because of what it's done to me.
Right.
I would be selfish to not try to teach people what has made such a massive change. And it's not just from a financial standpoint. It gave me confidence.
That's the biggest part.
Like I used to, people always, I tell the story. I used to have social anxiety. I had I had all that. I really did. They tried putting me on medications, non-narcotic medications to get me off of it. And I truly believe sales, closing deals fixed it all for me. Like
the money, the self-confidence, the wins,
everything, man.
experience.
Every deal I got, my confidence got better, and like the paychecks got bigger. That telephone changed everything.
That's it.
It changed everything. So, yeah. You're not a telemarketer. You're like people always would say, man, you were a telemarketer when I first was coming up in the game. They're like, dude, you just need to get back in the union. Like you're going to be a telemarketer, really? Like you're going to be a telemarketer?
Yeah.
And now it's like, you laughing now, motherfucker.
No, sales is serving.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You either know people already know you or they don't know you. There's two types of people. And the people that don't know you is way bigger than the people that do.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, real estate gives you the opportunity to trial and error and to just build a skill that you didn't think that you had. I never ordered. I didn't order food at a restaurant until I was like 13. You know what I mean? Like I was not like the gift of gab and just going around and just, you know, super expressive all the time. It took being thrown into it and saying, listen, my dad, as soon as I graduated college, he was like, you got a month that you could stay at the house and then get out of here. You got to get out of here.
Good for him.
And
That's a short run.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, you got to do something. You're 22 years old. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And so, had a real estate license, and you walk in there, and they're like, "What do you do?" And they're like, "You start calling people." You're like, "What?"
You know, it's funny, man. The gym I work out at, the guy's got an incredible place, but he has a small customer base.
Yeah.
And he's always buying the new equipment. He's always spending time like motivating everybody. And he talks about needing to raise his rates. And I remember talking to him about a month ago and said, Tyler, what would happen if you spent Saturday beating up the phones and sending a promotion home with all of your loyal members right now? He goes, what do you mean the phones? I'm like, what are you talking about? Everyone here would give you 5 phone numbers of people they know, and you call for personal referral, and you will change your income. You're already covering your expenses. You already are profitable. Every person you bring in costs you no money. And I was like, what would happen if you brought an extra 10 grand a month by working the phones on Saturdays? He's looking at me like I was on a different fucking planet. I'm like, you could change your life like this. And it's a gym. It has nothing to do with real estate. It has nothing to do with car sales. None of that. It's the same.
People underestimate the power of that thing.
They do.
Yeah.
Well, it's the remote control to society. It really is. You know what I mean? And what are you going to do? What are you going to use it for? Are you going to use it for entertainment, or are you going to use it to build your wealth? You're going to use it to build your skills. Listen, take everything from me. Take all the assets, take all the properties, take all the cash, take all the investments.
You don't want to do it again if you don't have to,
and,
but
no. And listen, yeah,
but that's how you'll do it.
But I have this. I know how to use this thing. That's it.
Yep.
That's a skill. I mean, you can't. Once it's in there, once you have those the patterns in your brain to be able to effectively communicate and talk about real estate and have a good conversation with property owners that that have made the decision that they're going to sell their property, you are set for life.
Yep. You'll never go broke. You'll never go broke.
You always hear the people say,
Yep.
what if you lost everything? What would you
Yep.
go do next? I know what you'd do. You get on the phone, find something to sell.
I'd pick up the phone and start dialing.
I would grab the delinquent tax list and go knock on doors
Mhm.
because I feel like I'm better in those situations. You would do the exact same. You pick up the phone.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
And the thing I love about the phone, right, and this virtual wholesaling is not everybody's going to want a team like I have.
Right.
Like very few people will build in the wholesale industry, will build the kind of machine or operation that I have. But you can make a really good living doing this. Like you can build a lifestyle around this.
Mhm.
You can go travel with your kids. You can do this out of a motor home. Like sometimes I even look at mine and I'm like, damn, man, one of my biggest goals is to be able to take my wife, my dogs, my kids, if they want, and to get this big ass motor home and just go travel the United States.
Yeah.
A phone, some leads,
Oh,
and a
yeah.
laptop,
Go.
you can do it.
Name,
Let me ask
address, and phone number.
Let me
That
ask you
is
this.
it.
Name,
I would
address,
kinda
and phone
call
number.
us real
That's
estate guys
it.
because we've been in it a little bit longer, but I would categorize you like yourself categorized as a non-real estate guy. If someone were to say, okay, I'm going to follow this exact process and I'm not from the real estate world, and they could follow like a model like yours, for example.
Yeah.
How long do you think they could be profitable to the point where they're done with their job? They can go do their own thing. How many days or months do you think it would take?
Well, I mean,
Like literally no experience. And they
put
say,
it-
I'm going to buy a program
Yeah.
and do what they say.
yeah. So put it like this. Closers that are in my office for 12, I was bringing in people that had no sales experience, and I would train them for 4 to 5 days.
Mhm.
It went,
On script base.
they go through my online training. We do script training. I would do CRM training. I would do recording training. They'd spend a whole day listening to recordings. When they hit the phone, in their first 30 days, they had to get 3 to 5 contracts.
Mhm.
So let's say
So add
40
that,
days.
double it to get them to close. By 90 days, if they don't have money in the bank,
100%. Yes.
they're not paying attention.
Yes. And this is not rocket science.
Mm-mm.
Like this is not rocket science.
Yeah, but I need good leads, right?
yeah. No, you need
a
someone to
leads
sell you
problem.
my home. Yeah, I hate that. It's never the leads.
I need a person that owns a property. That's what I need on the phone.
That's it.
This is the one. So there's people out there that will go from one PPC company to another, and then they'll go from one cold calling company to another. And I'm like, yo, dog,
It's a sales
Pick
problem.
one.
dog. Like, let me ask you a question real quick. Out of all 3 of those cold calling companies, how many leads have they actually sent you? 1,000. How many deals do you got? None. I'm like, you have a conversion problem, not a
send me
lead problem.
send me a recording of you doing a lead follow-up.
God,
I'm telling you. I mean, if there's ever that conversation in the Rhino tribe, it's send me your recordings. Send me the recordings. Let me hear what they sound like, and then just I've heard so many over the years, so many thousands. I've done so many.
I'm sure you have.
So many
Yeah.
reviews and call reviews that you could pick it out instantly. You could pick out exactly what part of the process fell off. And
Yep.
most of the time it's discovery.
Yeah.
Most of the time they don't care about the person. They just care about the property.
Yep.
And that's the difference between people that can have 100 leads and close 10 of them versus somebody that has 1,000 leads and close none of them.
Mm-hmm. All of 2023 on cold call data
Mhm.
on a lead that was sent to us, right? Verified. For all of 23, we did 31 leads to a contract. On PPC, we stayed at 10 or under
Mhm.
for PPC. And just to be very clear, a lot has to be everything. Just because a lead today is not interested in what you have, like a lot of things got to go right. You got to catch them in the right mood. You got to make sure their attitude is right. They didn't just get a phone call from another person. When you call them out of the blue, their situation at home is okay for them to give you their time. Like, I almost want to say the stars have to align, right? So when you call that person, your attitude has to be right. Your energy has to be right. Your like all that has to get married together in order for a deal to take place on these telephones. So I always say, like, when you call somebody and it might be the first time you call them, and I talk to people just like you, click. Well, don't get rid of that lead. Like that lead, you caught them at the wrong time.
Right.
Let that sit for maybe a couple days. Go back to them, like until they tell you to go F off, put me on the do not call list, or they have rejected your offer. It's still a good lead. And even when they reject your offer, if you have a good follow SMS drip campaign, which once you have a few hundred leads and definitely thousands of leads, you have to have an SMS drip campaign, because every single month without fail, we get 5 to 10 contracts. Every single month without fail, we get 5 to 10 contracts from leads that are 6 months or older. And they all come from a drip campaign.
Do you think that to get in the right space, the right place for us, we should be standing?
Yes.
Do you think the lights should be on?
Yes.
Do you think that we should have like some energy?
Yeah, you shouldn't be playing Fortnite trying to close deals. Like everyone in our office has a stand-up desk. They have a stand-up desk. They have a wireless headset. Every one of them has a bat. We do colada shots in our office.
Like a baseball bat or like the
baseball
animal?
bat?
Oh, okay.
Because we beat the snot out of these leads.
Got it. A baseball bat, not the creature. That hangs
we don't have
down.
bats. Yeah, it's
That'd be
baseball
crazy.
bats.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for being on here, guys. That
No
was
doubt,
awesome.
this is
Guys,
fun.
give them some love in the chat. Give them some love. Thank you. Guys, give them some love in the comments section. Yeah, great show. Guys, next week is our 4-year anniversary show.
Wow.
We've done this every Monday for 4 years.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I couldn't do it without Pace and Jamil. They're absolute superstars. And so we're going to be real excited for next week's show. And really awesome. Thanks for stepping in here, guys.
Enjoyed it.
And doing this with me. So
Thank you, man.
guys, that is it. Come on up. The audience, come on up, Matt. Without Pace and Jamil here, it's a little bit lighter in here, but it's still a lot of fun and great energy. Guys, we love you. Make sure that you are squatting up in the comments section, guys. That's where you're going to find all the people that are a few steps ahead of you so that you can get all the instruction that you need. And we'll see you next week. I love you guys. See ya. Bye.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing? I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.